Great. We're excited to be talking to you, by the way, because we've been trying to talk.
There's a couple things that I just want to clarify, because again, I'm responding to Mark's request, but at Cali PA and at all of our agencies, we don't advocate for any particular kind of technology. We typically set standards and then allow the technologies to meet those standards.
Patrick, let me just step in here a minute. I'd like to. This is Tom Murphy. I'd like to clear up some of the areas of thought. There is to start with. We meet the maximum contaminant level goals. Our water meets the maximum contaminant level goals. That's the standard for drinking water. That we meet that standard. We're not saying drink it. I'm saying that that's the standard we meet, which is a non-enforceable public health goal. So to start with, we have no authority. The water board we're not subject to the water board's opinion or approval or permitting. Matter of fact, the development of this particular technology basically eliminates the need for the water board. I've come back and I've said, hey guys, it's time to do this entire project and solve the problem here with a technology that eliminates discharge of pollutants into any source, into water.
Let me ask you directly, you're saying that government is getting in your way or is causing, because obviously we don't want that. Because I don't think we can we set standards, we don't, maybe you're thinking of the federal law, but my understanding of what our water board and our agencies are able to do is they set standards, but they can't name a brand name. I mean, they can't say.
Reference I'm just requesting the 1840 Main Street file, and that is basically the Shell Oil MTBE issue. The Morro Bay Planning Commission had approved the closure of the wells on that project site, and it's on Caltrans property, and also in 1840 they had test wells there that had to do with the MTBE infiltrating into the aquifer. And so we're going to be doing a request there, and hopefully next week we'll be able to review that file, because at this point in time the regional board, the city staff is waiting for the regional board's release of the liability for Shell Oil with regards to that issue. That project, when it was presented to the board, it was identified as a 1840 project. However, they're addressing the project site, which is outside the boundaries of 1840.
I don't think that's the right perception, because if you have reviewed the files, when we refer to the site and the plume has migrated off-site, then we have the monitoring wells to monitor the behavior of the plume, or whether it is contracting or expanding based on the data that we obtain from these wells. Third quarter of 2007 and years before that, we have very minor detection of MTBE, and during the third quarter of 2007, all the wells were non-detect for MTBE.
What we're having here is a study that's done by CLE, okay, to help close out that issue. Okay, the issue that we're having is that the exfiltration issue is being ignored. When I worked in Cayuga Sanitary District, I worked there for about 2 years. I did a flow study there and was addressing the hydrogen sulfide gas issues that were along Main Street.
Right.
We installed biofilters to help that. We were using ferrous chloride at the time.
But I've been following it since then. So yeah, good. I'm glad that you know that part.
John, can I talk to you for a second?
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, that was great. Thank you so much for your time. I know you guys are busy. Mr. Briggs has a copy of all the reports.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Eileen, can I just shift the subject for just a minute? I want to get back to where the reuse water, the recycled water that we produce at the Reclamator House. Tom's been at this work a long, long time, and he's refined it to the point where we have a home that is actually hooked up to a reclamator that is pumping out drinking water quality, scientifically drinking water quality product. We put it in a holding tank and we can reuse it to wash. I can take a shower, then wash my truck with the water. Or continue to flush a closed loop system on a toilet where I never take another drop of water from the aquifer to flush a toilet.
If I could interject, that's actually a good thing that you said. I guess I was focusing on using it for drinking water, which the laws in the books do have limitations on that. But your idea of using it for non-potable water source for flushing toilets and other things is encouraged in California, and that is a great use of it. You're right. Nitrates is a significant source of groundwater pollution in California. One of our, pervasively, by volume, largest polluters in California, such so that we're going to be upgrading all the requirements for septic tanks across California. But there are laws in the books that encourage the use of recycled water for some of the things you talk about for toilet flushing. In fact, last year this governor signed a law to expand the existing law to encourage its use further in apartment complexes.
All right. Let me cut in here for a minute if I could. We're the lowest responsible bidder to any treatment technology that could compete to do what you're just witnessing in Santa Monica. Chapter 26, 1316. The term standard of performance means the standard for control of the discharge of pollutants which reflect or other alternatives, including, where practicable, a standard discharge permitting no discharge of pollutants. Okay, so okay, I understand, but this isn't more stringent. There's nothing more stringent than the standard permitting no discharge of pollutants. When you permit a septic system, it's an unlawful permit that's being offered. In 1977, the federal government established a race to provide the best available pre-treatment technology. Well, this is in fact what's happened here today. So you're witnessing a revolution in the way that business is being done.
I'm calling for Deputy Van Dolen, please.
I felt I had a pretty good understanding and sense of where you're coming from. I will tell you that on anything like this, the experts and the folks that I would turn to for scientific advice and so forth are the folks at the Regional Water Board. And I know that you don't necessarily agree with everything that they have said in the past or even saying in the present.
The only thing which has stopped the actual implementation of these two projects and many like them is that the funding has not been there to do that. It has not been available to made available to these projects. But we believe that the circular sea concept is one of the things that can be applied globally, massively, and very quickly, and at low cost and low risk, that qualifies as a stabilization wedge.
Just because the city told you they don't think it's the Coastal Commission's authority doesn't make it so.
Right.
I know that the Coastal Commission, I have full faith in them that they're going to render their decision about it as well.
Okay.
They'll either blow the whistle on this thing and say, hey, wait a minute, they're not going to bow down or roll over just because Morro Bay said that they don't have purview. The Coastal Commission is very adamant about stepping in and not letting some city jurisdiction roll over them or roll past them. They're very good about that. As far as any other due process violations in there, those violations are not things that we here at the District Attorney's Office would file criminal charges on. Again, I think that you've identified certainly some interesting issues. None of them, though, are within the bailiwick here of our office.
Well, okay, Steve, thanks. That gives me a little bit of more confidence that we're heading in the right direction. All right, Steve, have a great day, and thanks for your time. I really appreciate it, sir.
Good luck with your presentation tomorrow evening.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.